Okay, everybody, this is Mooneydashcam. We are in Valley Stream. We are going to where the unknown biker gang robbed an armored car and got a lot of money. Don't get on me that I said biker gang. Motorcycle club, if it makes you guys happy. All right, let's flip this around and get into it. Okay, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mooneydashcam. I post in there every single day. Also, please leave suggestions for future videos in the comments. I very much appreciate that. That's how I get a lot of these videos. Also, the bank that this armored car was robbed at, I believe, is open right now. The last time I filmed a bank in Staten Island, I don't know if you remember, I'll put a link in the description. I was stopped by security. So I bet I'll be stopped by security again, filming an open bank the last time the bank was closed. But nevertheless, continuing on with the story. Okay, the address that we're going to is 260 West Sunrise Highway in Valley Stream. This happened on November 2nd, 2018 at around 2:30 a.m. is when the robbery was pulled off. It was in front of an HSBC bank. I don't know if those banks are national, but that's the name of the bank around here. What is that in the middle of the road? You see that? Alright, I'm gonna go around it. There was a Garda armored truck that they robbed, and the biker gang was unknown bikers, which I mentioned before. Alright, so the people involved in the heist are Raymond Soto Sr., also known as Razor, the 48-year-old. This is what it says when I was reading up on it. I don't know how true all this is. It said he was the unknown bikers president. Now, I know there's chapter presidents and national presidents. It just said he was the president. And then his son, Raymond Soto Jr., who's known as Rambo, 33 years old, he was an unknown bikers enforcer. And then their inside man in the company, the Garda company, was Alexis LaGuerra, a 30-year-old prospect for the unknown bikers. So, we learned this after the fact, why this heist took place. We don't know for sure if this is true. This could have been said to lighten his own sentence. But Soto Jr. was dealing cocaine and weed, and he had $200,000 of drugs that he did not own, stolen from him at gunpoint in 2018. So he borrowed those drugs from a supplier. He was going to sell them and pay the supplier back. But they got robbed. So now he owes a supplier $200,000. The supplier is threatening his life and his family's life. So he's saying under this kind of pressure, that's why he pulled off the situation that he's in now. So, Alexis LaGuerra, the driver for Garda, felt in debt to Soto Jr. after he saved his life in 2013 when Alexis was robbed at gunpoint for a gold chain. So that's why they got the inside man on the job. But also, he's just a prospect. Sure, he wants to move up in the club, so he's probably going to do this anyway, even if he didn't feel in debt to Soto Jr. Alright, so it is November 2nd, or possibly November 1st, because this happened at 2:30 a.m., so it could be the 2nd, but I believe that they're talking about the 1st at this point. In 2018, Alexis texts Soto Jr. that he'll be at the Valley Stream HSBC at 2 to 3 a.m. He texts him that at 9:59 p.m., I believe. Now, Alexis's job, the whole reason why he has the job, his role, is he was the driver, and normally there's a passenger that's a messenger, which he had that night also. And he was, that night, early morning, they were going out to empty the old money and refill the ATMs with fresh money. I don't know if you guys know this, but ATMs require fresh, clean bank bills to dispense. He sends another text when he was 40 minutes away. Around that time is when Soto Sr. drops off Soto Jr. close to the bank. We're going to be passing right by where he drops him off, and at the end of the video I'll jump out and film that spot. Then he texts him when he arrived. So Alexis, the driver, has his other guy, the messenger, and once they're both out of the truck and inside the bank, he sends another text for Soto Jr. to take the truck, which is left unlocked and running. Alright, so right under this overpass on the left side in the oncoming lane, right next to that concrete wall, is where Soto Sr., the father, drops off Soto Jr. in his black Range Rover, which is also later on their getaway car. Alright, we'll skip to when we're in front of the bank. Okay, we're pulling in now. I was here earlier in the week, and it didn't look like the bank was operating, but then I swung by earlier today, and I saw somebody in the drive-thru. Might be like a drive-thru only bank, I'm not sure. I'm gonna shoot around the front. Now you can imagine that right there where those cones are is probably where they parked, if that was the bank, because that's where the drive-thru is. I'm gonna loop around again. We're gonna come from the back. I wanna see if it's open. No, I don't think it's a bank anymore. I think it's just now this vein clinic. No, it's a Jenny Core, whatever that is. A bow and arrow place? Could that be? Could that really be? Alright, let's slip around the back. I'll park and I'll get all this filmed. So now that it's not a bank, I don't think security will stop me. But we'll see. Driving through the drive-up section, but we will park right here. Alright. It's very weird. You normally don't see like a bank that's been closed and the stuff is still up and around for it. Oh, I forgot this in the last video. Say hi to the truck. So, as I was saying, he texts him when it's time to hop in the truck. So there's surveillance footage of him hopping into the truck because he left the doors unlocked, driving away in it, and then throwing a duffel bag over his shoulder. It was described as carrying it over his shoulder like Santa Claus. I guess that's where the bank tellers used to be. Not anymore, of course. And I would assume that the truck was right out front, hops in it, pulls off out this section of the parking lot, across the lot, and then if you could see the overpass over there with that purple awning, right under there is where he did the swap with his father, which we'll visit in a second. I have one police photo from this whole situation. Someone tell me what this place is. A bow and arrow place? I don't understand. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit more as we walk back to the truck. So he grabbed 3 duffel bags containing $170,000 in cash each. $510,000 in total. Inside the truck, though, $3.6 million. I don't know why he didn't steal all the money. I don't know about you, but if I am going through all the trouble of robbing an armored car, along with the person, I have an inside guy in the company doing the whole bit, I'm stealing as much money as I can. I'm not leaving millions of dollars and only taking $500,000. Seems ridiculous. The odds of me making a right onto Sunrise Highway, if you guys know Sunrise Highway, you'll know what I'm talking about. The odds of me making a right and getting into the full left lane to make a left at this light is near impossible, as this lady honks to wave me on. So I will come back to you when we're at the spot we need to be at. Okay, while I make my little detour to get over to the area where they did the swap, I'll tell you that Soto Jr. told Alexis to destroy the cell phone and the SIM card so they don't have any evidence involving them in the crime. Of course he doesn't do that. I can turn around right here. Of course he doesn't do that. And that's how we have the detailed description and timestamps of what went on that night. Exactly when he sent the texts. And I'm sure the texts are also recovered, but aren't public information. And the FBI was put on the case because I'm assuming since it was a bank, it becomes federal. Could be wrong in that. They were arrested a month later. Now, at the Soto house, I'm assuming they got a search warrant, went through it. The things that were found were drugs, which made sense. He said he was a drug dealer. A pen gun. I'll put up a picture of that. People make pen guns in all different ways. And also $130,000 cash. Now, the father and son lived in the same house. The father said he had no idea whose money that was. It was not his. And he doesn't know how it got there. Unfortunately for him, it was packaged and packed exactly how Garda packs their cash when it's going to be put into an ATM. So that didn't quite work out for him. The dad was trying to downplay his involvement along this whole investigation to try and get less time, which I understand. He wanted less time, but he kind of throws his son under the bus a little bit. The rest of the money was never found. It was assumed to have been given to the drug dealer, the supplier. Right here is where the truck was found. I'm going to walk over here. Once I pull up on the sidewalk up here a little bit. You know how I do it. Okay, here we go. Let's not get hit by a car. I'll show you how I'm parked because I know you guys like to see that. Just like that, like I'm supposed to be. I'm off the road, right? All right. Oh, there's a Long Island Railroad. Okay, let's get a little bit into the sentencing. Raymond Soto Sr. got 18 months, claiming he only got involved out of fear for his son's life and saying he only gave his son a ride. That was all his involvement, which is bullshit. We know that. They did a swap over here with $500,000. Now, the driver, Alexis Laguerra, got 30 months saying, I was not in my right mind. I was working a lot of hours. I apologize. A lot of people work a lot of hours and don't end up stealing $500,000 from their company. So I find that very funny. Let's hop in the road here. Right about here is where this armored van, it's really a van, was parked when the police came. Look at that, out of the street now. It's not a good noise. Raymond Soto Jr. got 33 months and proudly said, I take full responsibility for what happened. That's the bank right over there. So, as you can see, we're not very far. We're about 2 football fields away, possibly. It's a dangerous sidewalk right here. That's the back of the truck. You guys never really get to see that. Can you imagine the feeling right here of loading $500,000 in your now like almost completed heist? You're not away yet, but you have duffel bags full of cash. It's got to be an exciting feeling. Now this right here is the Valley Stream Village building which is probably not the best building to be parked on their sidewalk, but hey. And I always wondered, do these ads work at a bus stop? How many people are actually seeing that? You getting business? I can't imagine you get much business from that. So they had to forfeit $300,000 and pay back the $510,000 that they took from Garda. Oh look, I'm following the rules. No vehicles beyond this point. I won't go beyond this point. I'm a rule follower when it's convenient. Back into the truck here. We will try not to get killed. Trying not to get killed. Okay, that is pretty much the end of the story. You guys get to see me drive up the sidewalk in this view, which you've never seen before. Maybe you have. I don't remember all my videos. But can you imagine that feeling of counting that money when you pull up at home, going through it, realizing you have $510,000? Even if you had to give $200,000 to one of your drug suppliers, so you got 310 grand there. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. So it was hard to find a lot of info on the story. It's not a very well-known story, which I've come to learn. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. See you next one.